Oh, Jesus Lord, protector of all that is good and holy. It has been a rough-ass week. But you know what? We'll talk about that more later when we get to the end of the video. But like right here, we're looking at a Conqueror Lilias, we're looking at a Navy Captain Landy, and the oh-so-wonderful rat bitch herself, Choux. So, what do I decide to do about that? Well, let's go ahead and bring our anti-Choux team of Shadow Knight Pyllis and Roana together in the same situation. But you know what this also prevents is Navy Captain Landy from really just, you know, fucking your face inside out. So the good thing about all this is we can really just kind of go as slow as we want. Like, the biggest threat that can really happen is, hey, let's just say the Navy Captain Landy goes absolutely apeshit, does a lot of, like, you know, extra dual attacks from the Conqueror Lilias, or, like, you know, responds with a counterattack willy-nilly at all times. Thankfully for us, we have one turn that we went in with Lethe, then on her very next turn, which she will get very, very quickly because of the speed buff that she gives herself, you'll soul burn that S3, give yourself an extra turn, and then... Well, damn, looky there, the Navy Captain got fucked by a Kraken. So now all we have left is Conqueror Lilias and Choux. And quite honestly, the worst thing that can happen now is the Choux could just go wild with counterattacks on the Lethe, and then, you know, S1, S2. And because this isn't Shadow Knight Pyllis, you're taking a little bit more damage. Sure, Shadow Knight Pyllis does nerf that counterattack, like the additional attack damage a good bit, but like, hey, my Lethe is built strictly as like, hey, I'm fast and I have a lot of HP. Whereas my Shadow Knight Pyllis is, I have middling speed, I have decent HP, and I have a fuckload of defense, especially after 3 turns with, you know, 3 stacks of will. So, the only thing that could really possibly happen now is we could possibly lose Lethe. The chances of that happening are pretty damn slim, even if the Choux was to go absolutely insane, because we have Celestine on Roana, we're getting a lot of HP back from our S1s, and we're also getting a good bit back from any and all S1, S2 follow-ups. And then basically, any other chance I also get a provoke right here, now the Choux's just going to be wasting our time going into my Shadow Knight Pyllis, which, case in point, God, those buffs are fucking delicious, aren't they? Like, straight up, that used to do somewhere around the area of 6 to even 7k to my Shadow Knight Pyllis, my big, huge def scaling, or just big def HP kind of unit. Now she just takes so much less damage. It really, really baffles me that she did not have those effects on her person, and they only affected the entire party. Either way, moving on. So here is very, very standard, excruciatingly simple mechanics of fighting Savior Adin, and anytime I'm fighting a Savior Adin, like I've said before in the past, I do not fuck with that shit anymore. I could have brought Zahak into this, but no, we're dealing with Ahmed. Because we're dealing with Ahmed, we're dealing with skill null shenanigans. And then also here, I decided to just throw in Moon Bunny just for the sake of, hey, what even if this was a Sword of Cycling Season Savior Adin, let's just, like, you know, rub a little bit of salt in the wound and have her deal absolutely no damage. So, looking at this particular setup does kind of make me wonder, maybe I could bring Zahak into situations like this if I'm using Moon Bunny, because normally going into a situation like this, where quite literally there's only 2 DPS, one of which you can immediately delete with a Dark Corvus Devil's Descent, case in point right here, Mercedes, because hey, if we're going to extinct, you ain't coming back. Shazam! So then, now the Savior Adin's going to be the only one who's going into Dark Corvus. Now, what I was saying before, like, oh yeah, maybe I could bring in as a Hawk or whatever, I'll deal with it as I deal with it, but like right now I was like, you know what, I don't feel like thinking. I've had a really, really rough week. I just kind of want to plow through this and we'll see how we're doing. But like, what happens here is Ahmed is being the most annoying bitch in the world, as well as Savior Adin herself. What I wanted to do was I wanted to kill Ahmed so that I could then continue to get my Devil's Descents off on my Dark Corvus so I can just, you know, get this over with. And then lo and behold, looky there, Savior Adin's going to use her S3 again. Now guess who we can't hit? Ahmed! Okay, bro, I've had enough of this shit. This is retarded. So now I'm like, okay, fuck it. We'll just hit into the Savior Adin. We'll get rid of the skill null. We'll just kill her now. And for y'all's benefit, we will just edit us forward. And hey, looky there. Now Ahmed's dead. Hooray! The magic of editing. You don't have to watch like 10 more turns of nothing happening. Woo! Next. Okay, so this is a team that I've fought many, many times, and I've also used this team a lot of times before. So it's Ran, Lilias, and Senya. I like to use Inferno, Khawazu, Ed, and Rimuru into this team. However, I have mentioned many, many times before that it is not a consistent team for the sake of Iron Manning. You will usually win, but the problem is you will more than likely lose some units, and you're going to see that now. Now, the biggest factor for why you will lose is because of the EE that's on Lilias right here, where she gains a 20% CR boost, and because of that, she then goes. And because she goes, you're going to probably be taking massive damage from the Death Break that the Ran more than likely is going to hit on you because, lol, element disadvantage, what the fuck is that? Never heard of it. So, right here, we happen to get our Benimaru Taichi attack buff. Thank God we got that. So now we can just kill the Senya, and then we also hit on the Ran with our Ed. We kill that there. And now, because we're not utilizing any form of lifesteal or any, like, Golden Rose artifact, honestly, I really need to update my Edward. We don't have any form of sustain. And Shazam. Now we're able to get through that one. Probably not going to be using that team anymore. It just feels really risky. And then here is another, like, fun team where right here, the very first action that occurs, that was their only chance of actually killing me. So if I did not dodge that attack from the Savior Adin, very possible good chance that I would have died. Thankfully, I dodge it. And now we're pretty much, they're at the mercy of Brieg, going slow and steady. So the way in which this is all going to be working is, one, we had Assassin Cartuja. Our Assassin Cartuja is going to go into whoever I really deem fit, whoever I want to either take a turn away from, or whoever I want to give defense down to. So here I decide to stun the ae-KARINA just to prolong the S3 as much as possible. And then I have Shuna here, who is strictly just a bait for ae-KARINA. Sure, that doesn't really end up working a lot throughout a lot of this fight, because we CC the ae-KARINA a lot. Like, she gets provoked a lot here, so there's probably not a lot of effect res on this ae-KARINA. Either way. And also, one thing I was very, very surprised about seeing as well is this is an ae-KARINA that is on Charles' artifact. I usually always see her on her own artifact, but like, hey, that's something that I've never really seen before. Either way, ae-KARINA is still an incredibly annoying unit to go into, and right here was what I was counting on happening. So I was expecting, okay, so the S3 that you gain from from having a full Fighting Spirit bar from Brieg, it's going to either go into Mercedes or it's going to go into Savior Adin. Fortunately for us, it went into Savior Adin, mainly because the Mercedes had attacked down, and it also hit her. So, because it hit her, straight up, now we don't have to worry about Savior Adin anymore. Now she's gone, I just have these two units here that are just being heavily controlled right now. And this is where, like, it really sucks because I really wanted to use, Kayn, but Kayn is just rough, man. Whereas Brieg, sure, he's also meant for PvE, but he has such a flexible kit, you can actually make him work in PvP. You can definitely do it. He just needs a little bit of help so you can make it work. Which, honestly, I'm all for. Like, because this team is actually being controlled so well, and also we're recovering so much HP from Shuna. Shuna's doing some HP heals, as well as reapplying barriers anytime we do not have it, whenever it's Brieg's turn to use it on his S2. Like, we have tons and tons of barrier, and because we also have a lot of barrier, we have evasion on us, because that's just how cool ASCAD is. Now, we go into Mercedes here, because the ae-KARINA is already long gone, and then we kill her here. And I was like, is there any way I could probably get another S3 off with Brieg? Nah, we won't. But hey, either way, we'll be able to use one more S1 attack, because straight up, this unit is just so good, man. All he does, everything's just based off of his HP stat, and he does decent damage.
Can you feel this absolute difference in power?
Why, yes, AssCat, I most certainly can. So right now, I'm feeling like a big dick motherfucker, and I'm like, yo, I totally got this shit. Turns out, I'm not him. So what's gonna happen is element disadvantage straight up doesn't exist. And then we get hit with quite possibly the worst debuff that you could have ever gotten on Yulha, which is unbuffable. Now, case in point, if unbuffable did not happen, and I were to use a proper red unit on this team, for example, like, say, Abigail, If I had brought Abigail, then I could have protected my Yulha, have her be at 0 HP with immortality, and then I could have taken that time to just straight up delete any unit of my choice. More than likely going to be the Senya. Because I'm positive that the Jacko would have probably killed herself with that level of damage that she would have done, and then we could just go willy-nilly as soon as we wanted to kill the Uran. Now, unfortunately, we're not smart, so we didn't bring Abigail, we brought Charlotte in the hopes that we would survive that opening turn, which, hey, I should know better at this point. I'm absolute dog shit when it comes to fighting Cleave. I'm just terrible at it. It's something that I've always been bad at, and quite frankly, I probably will always be. But here, I thought, hey, if we manage to just take one more little bit of damage, then we could probably get to our Yulha's turn and then kill. Case in point, if that Ran hit us on that last turn where he went into Yulha. Because, of course, the very last attack missed. If he would have hit, then it would have probably activated my passive, then I would have boosted up, and then I could actually kill something. Of course, that doesn't fucking happen. And now we're in this oh-so-wonderful predicament where we don't have any form of healing with our S2 or S3 because we've already used it all just trying to hold on for dear life. And, we're fucked. So, basically, if we had fought this with an Abigail in the front and Yulha in the back, there is a damn good chance that we could win, but if we got hit with unbuffable, then we would still probably lose. On to the next match. So here we're fighting literally the same team that was in like the first team, and of course, you know, because me being the oh-so-wonderful retard that I am, I was like, yeah, I'll fight that same team, but I'll do it with a different team because, yo, I gotta get those 18 heroes in for absolutely no reason because I am an incredibly smart individual. Oh, hey, looky there, Archdemon Mercedes is already dead. So, what I was wanting to do is I brought any and all form of damage, like, sharing that I possibly could because I know Savior Aiden's gonna hit like a fucking truck. But, like, we're just dealing with too much damage here. And we got hit 2 times really, really hard. And then also we got a counterattack there. We didn't manage to get a seal. But here we risk it for the biscuit. We get a seal. We land it. We crit it. And then we also extra attack it. That bitch is dead. Now, herein lies the actual big mistake that happens. For whatever fucking reason in my brain, I thought, oh yeah, if I seal that Mercedes, then she's definitely not going to come back. Yeah, she's just dead. She's not going to revive. Hey, retard. Mercedes doesn't have any passives. She just straight up can revive because this was one of the best design decisions that SG ever did by giving passives to units that have 3 skills. Whoops! But okay, maybe we can survive. We have damage sharing, we have like, you know, some form of tankability. We even have like a little baby bit of sustain. Oh look, it's my favorite attack ever, Magic for Friends. Oh, okay. Well, this still isn't the end of the world. We actually have a revenge set on our Maid Chloe, so we should be zooming, right? Well, we would be zooming if our revenge set wasn't fucking dog shit. Well, damn. It turns out we did not get to our turn to activate our revenge set and get, like, you know, our units back with a revive, and we also weren't able to get any fucking stuns off onto the Mercedes after the first time we did it. Damn, I'm fucking smart. But either way, guys, that is the Guild War. Yay! So what was I talking about being really, really tired? Well, to those of you who actually know me in real life, this was the end of the month, so October, and October is one of my particular hell months that I go through. And because of that, it's really, really hard to find the time to get content out, as well as, like, just responding to comments. So you probably have noticed, like, in the past, like, 4 days, I straight up haven't been responding to people, like, in any of the comments. If any of y'all happen to, like, you know, peruse my stuff. Man, I wonder why he's not saying anything. Oh, yo, that motherfucker's busy as shit. That's why. But, hey, we finally got through it. Today was, like, the last day. Yeah, Sunday. This was content for Friday. But yeah, we finally got through it, and then we'll go ahead and we'll pump this out, and then we'll see if we can make everybody happy. And to those of you who also are like new to my channel, if you're curious about how things go down around here, basically the one thing that I do is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. What I do is I basically add music to whatever the Guild Wars that I do. I try to put them out on the first day, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then the very next day, I provide commentary for it because I am incredibly fucking lazy and I'm not doing all that shit in one fucking day. So I do it the next day. And hopefully, I'll have more insight on whatever it was that I did to make it seem like I'm smarter than I really am whenever I'm doing the commentary. Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to say that part out loud. Fuck. See show notes for details. Oh shit, I shouldn't have read that either. But either way, that's basically in which the way things are going to be going down. And finally, we were able to get through this fucking work week. And the only other thing that was really on my mind was, oh yeah, Rift content. So those of y'all who are curious about Rift, until I can actually figure out how to properly do the first form of Rift, and whenever I feel like I have the time nor the effort to actually do it, I'm probably going to skip it. I'm probably going to skip Rift, as well as like I skip Nightmare Raid, and also while I skip Challenge Abyss. I straight up just ain't got the time, man. I ain't got the time to do that shit. I don't have the time, patience, or luck to do it. But hey, boys, thanks for getting through the video. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to see more of my content, hit subscribe. Makes me happy. Later.